21 minutes to midday on this Thursday, and Thursday often means we take a good long look at technology. And I'll tell you something, it's not without its difficulties today.
James Hazell on BBC Radio Suffolk.
Our tech guru, Matt Porter, the web designer, on the show with us. Hi, Matt. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's first of all talk about Three, Matt, with a fairly serious outage last night for the entire Three network.
Yes, these things seem to be more common than not at the moment. But yeah, it appears that 10 million customers were affected by a major outage last night, which has sort of lasted through to this morning, I think.
Wow. Okay. Now, obviously, it's very early days, but do they have any sort of plans in place? Do they refund people? Is it what happens? Or do they just say, well, we don't guarantee it to be on all the time?
I think that I've had experience of this with another provider, giffgaff, a couple of years ago, where they had a major outage, and they did approach their customers and said, look, we're really sorry. We are going to give you some degree of compensation. Would you like us to pay you directly, or would you like us to pay charity? And I think at the time, lots of people said charity. And in the end, it was something very, very small, like £1 or something for everybody. But this was a smaller provider than Three. But I guess that there will be some point where people will be claiming compensation, loss of earnings, or just simply because the contract says they will provide them with a telephone service. But yeah, I guess so. It's early days though now.
Yeah, it's something of a worry, isn't it? I mean, folk these days are almost saying, well, we don't need a landline. What's the point of having a landline? And then this happens, and you get to realise how exposed you can be if you're dependent solely on a mobile network.
You are. I was talking yesterday about the fact that people aren't wanting landlines anymore, aren't using those kind of wired phones anymore. They're reliant completely almost on their mobile phones. And of course, having a mobile phone requires a network to run it on. And if the network goes down, then there's just blind panic amongst.
Wow. Now that sounded like a scene from some kind of disaster movie. We'll try and reconnect to Matt Porter. Did you hear that? What was that? Anyway, we'll try. There we are, talking about how flaky modern technology can be, with networks suddenly going off. And would you believe it? It's done exactly the same. Maybe Matt's on Three network. I don't know. We'll reconnect to him in the standard traditional manner and see if we can get a sense of, hey, is he okay? Because that sounded like a window coming in or something, or a typhoon or something. We'll reconnect to Matt and find out more, because also Vodafone, they have problems as well with thousands of charges to customers made in error. And as you may have heard in the news at 11 as well, Samsung phones with issues over security. I think we can now reconnect to Matt Porter. Hi, Matt. There we were, talking about the flakiness of technology.
Technology fails us.
It sounded like a bomb had gone off from this end. Matt, are you okay?
Well, I was chatting away as I normally do day to day, and realised after a couple of seconds no one was listening.
Yeah, well,
which is normal.
There you go. So we've talked about Three. Vodafone, problems for Vodafone as well. Thousands of error charges to their customers, Matt.
Well, you look at these stories. I mean, in this case, it's where people have gone abroad, and it seems that mainly abroad, where they've suddenly where there's an agreement in place at the moment for roaming to countries, a whole load of countries in Europe and elsewhere. It appears that system broke with Vodafone, and people started eating into their minutes. And in fact, there were people there with £4,000, £10,000 bills, which begs to ask the question, how did it get to the point where Vodafone thought, actually, I think we'll stop their service now because I think they might have gone slightly over their credit. Are you still there?
Oh, I'm still here. Yes, don't worry. We're still connected.
Anyway,
I'll breathe occasionally just so you can hear me.
Yeah, you need to have a little chime every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, it appears in this case that the system in the billing system that shouldn't have been billing them was billing them and cut people off. There were people again on holiday or on business, and suddenly they didn't have a service and kind of no way to inform their telephone provider that their service had gone down or had been cut off because they didn't have a service to use. I don't know. It sounds like a bug in the system somewhere.
There we go.
You wonder whether there should be a greater amount of diligence sometimes in these kind of stories. How did this actually happen? How did it get to the point where someone was racking up a bill of thousands of pounds? How come it didn't stop at zero?
Yeah, how come there's not? Well, there used to be, didn't there? Back in the day, there was a sort of a limit you could put on your account. And you couldn't go beyond that. I don't know if that still applies.
Yes, and that was brought in where I used to be charged years ago. I would be charged £1 a megabyte for going over my data limit. Well, you can imagine what that would be now. But so now I believe on most of the 4G or 3G, 4G contracts, that it will actually just simply stop the data once you hit your limit and you're not using it. So, it's a bug in the system, and again, very deeply embarrassing for these companies that are well established.
They're not a new company, Vodafone. They're one of the oldest. Now, would Vodafone customers, do they need to check their bills, or will Vodafone, fess up to this and get in touch with people?
I think everybody should never rely on a third party to come to them and say we've made a mistake. They should check their bills, see whether or not there's some anomaly there where they've been charged more than they should normally. Yeah, everyone should be checking their bills all the time and not just letting these things just drop in their inboxes or through the letterbox and not even open them because it's a standard amount. Yeah, just check your bills.
OK, now one thing that annoys us possibly even more than being billed incorrectly is lack of security, something that has troubled Samsung and I think it's the Galaxy 10, isn't it, Matt, where there's this strange bug that allows anybody to access your phone.
Yeah, this is the Galaxy S10, which is a relatively new handset. I think it's one of the newest handsets that Samsung are currently selling, and it would appear that it has a very, very advanced in-screen fingerprint sensor that uses ultrasound to detect your fingerprint and is meant to be super, super, super secure. But in this case, someone has put a off-the-shelf or bought online screen protector that we all kind of find we have to buy to protect our screens from breakage. They put a cheap screen protector or a aftermarket screen protector on their screen, and it appears that has had the effect that any fingerprint can unlock that phone.
Which unbelievable.
Baffles me totally. You'd think that it would be the other way round, that the fail-safe on a phone would be don't let anybody in, not, we can't recognise this, so it must
So we'll
be
just
right.
come in anyway. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Now,
again,
they've rolled out a patch, haven't they, to fix this?
What, to put over the screen?
I don't know. They just switch the phone off. How about that?
If the patch has been rolled out, that's great. Yeah. Then if people have these handsets, don't again rely on the provider to update your phone. Go into your settings, go into your software settings, and there'll be an option there to check for update. Click on that button and make sure that you get that patch straight away. If you haven't got the patch yet, or you don't think you have, then you can disable the fingerprint as a method of unlocking your phone anyway and use key code or pattern or whatever else you want to use.
I often harp on about rushing things to market, but this is a major manufacturer, Matt. This is hugely embarrassing, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. They Samsung are one of the biggest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world next to Apple. Both of them have, due to their market share, they have the obligation to make sure that their products work properly. And maybe for the next handset, they will try an aftermarket screen protector on there just to make sure
just
that
to make sure
again. This is the march forward of technology. It's like you just said, it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
And mobile phone market especially, is that they're trying so hard to make a difference to their handsets, give something different that will make them stand out from the crowd. And, having an in-screen fingerprint sensor, because surely you wouldn't just be happy with the one that's on the back or on the side of your phone. It's just, it's tripped them up, and it's terribly embarrassing,
Yeah. You still there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm just joking. Matt Porter, the web designer, with our technology update with several issues for mobile phone companies and manufacturers. Matt,